Hey, what up everyone, this is Mondo All Day, back with another video. Then in this video I'll be showing you my build guide for Colossus. I'll be showing you the uniques, artifacts, medallions, legendaries that I used, as well as I'll be showing you my PowerPoints, where I placed them, the synergies, omegas, and I'll be showing you at the very end to show you my rotation, how I was able to pass Cosmic Trial with Colossus. So let's just get right into it. So I'll show you right now the artifacts. The ones I use are Pyramid Growth Serum for the damage rating and health, Flag of the Scroll Empire for the fighting, brutal, and critical damage, Mr. Hyde Medallion because it gives you the physical defense rating, the damage rating, and health, the Advanced Crimson Crystal of Cataract for the health and physical damage rating, and then last but not least, the Mayhem of Demon Blood because it gives you 2 extra fighting and speed when you do extra damage, as well as gives you that extra health and melee power damage. Now for all of his uniques, I use for the uniques, all of them are his, so there's no rare or or hard to find uniques. They're all his uniques. Now for the ring, I use in Industrial City and Signet. I use the one for the melee one because obviously for the melee damage, and all of his attacks are all melee. For the costume, obviously it's critical damage, but for the costume core, I chose the one that gives you +1 strength and health because he definitely needs a lot of health, and obviously for the strength, I'll explain why he needs a lot of health. For the insignia, I use Spider Woman because it gives you the critical damage rating, the health, and you restore 2 you and your allies restore 2 spirit per second, so that's pretty good. And obviously for the pet, try to get one that gives you extra health or extra damage. So in this case, for my pet, it gives you, let me see here, 2% less damage for melee powers, 1.7 spirit recovery per second, 30% base damage, physical base damage, +2 for basic powers, and +3 for the durability. And again, you definitely need a lot of health regarding this build that I use, and I'll explain it when I start showing you my rotation. Now for the legendary, I chose Excalibur because he's all melee, and plus since it's really close range, I want that rank 5 which gives you regenerate 200 health per hit. And since he is melee and you're gonna be doing a lot of close combat, you want to get a lot of health. So hence why I chose this legendary. Now for Euroforged, I chose for the melee powers plus also for the defense and health. Again, you want to get a lot of defense, a lot of health with him. So again, those are just my items. Now I'll show you my PowerPoints where I spent them. Going from top to bottom, left to right, I put 17 on Demolition Stomp, 16 for
We
Obsidian Skin
X-Men rarely have so much time to rest.
for the passive. Maxed out Titanic Slam. 1 here for the charge. 1 for fastball special. I don't really use it that much, but let me see what else here. 12 for Colossal Punch. This is a very, very good one. And again, I'll explain it when I show you my rotation after why it's important. Bulwark of Steel, max that out because the passive. I chose Vanguard Aurora for the toughness. I'm going to put 1 there. Crushing Smite, max that out. Obviously Signature, Colossus War, max that out. And Steel Punch, max that out. Last but not least, I can't even pronounce it correctly, but on Simium Champion, max that out as well too. And that's gonna be it for the powers. This one over here, Colossal Punches, would be very important. And again, I'll explain it when I show you my rotation, but it's gonna be a very important power. Now my omegas, again, I used around 3,000 give or take. So for Neural Enhancement, I chose Neural Recovery 1, and then Tactical Neural Implant 1 for that melee critical hit rating and critical damage rating. Arcane Attunements, none. Interstellar Exploration, 1 here for Earth for the base damage increase, 1 for Hala for the damage to physical attacks, and then 1 for Sakar for the melee damage and deflect rating. Special weapons, nothing. mutation, obviously 2 for warpath for the fighting, 1 for frenzy to get the extra melee critical hit rating when you do melee power. Radioactive origins, I chose 1 harpy, 2 for A-bomb, and then 1 for Lyra. I like A-bomb a lot because there's a 5% chance that when you hit with a melee attack you become invisible, so which gives you more time for you to do more damage, and plus it gives you extra damage rating. So that's one of my favorites for melee power heroes. Nanotechnology, I use 3 Spintech. Human augmentation, 1 for Deathlock program for the physical damage rating, and then 3 for the Reaver program for the 3% increase in physical damage, base physical damage. Psionics, 3 for Melt Phase for the brutal damage. Shadow King 1, Telepathic 1, and obviously Focus Strength of Groom for that +7 strength, because he's all physical, and as you know, strength is for physical heroes. Molecular adjustment, I did 2 for Pyram's growth on particles for the health, for the strength, and also because of the increase of physical size, which when I put all his items, you definitely see him like grow pretty big. And that's it for Omegas. So again, roughly around 3,000, give or take here and there. Now for the synergies, I used 1 for Colossus for the health and physical damage, Daredevil for the plus 3% damage to normal and elites, and for the melee power damage, Hawkeye for the speed and critical damage, Iceman for the 15 spirit and 5 damage to target slow targets, Juggernaut for the speed movement power damage, Psylocke for the physical damage, not so much for the mental. I'm sure you could change this for something else, but I just chose this one. Punisher because it gives you health on enemy defeat and spirit on enemy defeat as well too. Taskmaster for the deflect rating and dodge rating increase 1%, and for the +1 critical damage and +1 for melee damage. Thor for the physical damage, not so much for the energy. And last but not least, Winter Soldier for the melee power. So again, you can possibly change these. If I were to change, I would definitely change Thor to possibly War Machine. But again, this is what I use for me to pass Cosmic Trial with my current build right now. So that's really it. Again, I didn't really use up all my Omegas, but having the right rotation and knowing how to play with them, you can definitely be effective. So now I'll be showing you, well, the team up I use is Captain America, and that's really it. So let me show you now my rotation. Again, it's fairly simple. It's kind of fun. I like it. Alright, so his rotation is fairly simple. So for fastball special, you don't really have to think too much about it. Just literally activate it, and that's it, and let that summon kind of take, do its job per se. I don't really rely on him too much, hence why I only placed 1, as you can see here, because again, I don't really rely on him to for me to do a massive damage. I just have him just to get extra damage on the side, but the rest is going to be on these right here. So what I usually do is this. So if I'm going to enemies, well, what I usually do is do Titanic Slam, Demolition Stomp, and then do Crushing Smite. So it looks like this. That's usually my rotation, and then I start using Colossal Punch. Now the reason why I like Colossal Punch is because if you read it closely, it gives you damage increases by the percentage 1% per 500 maximum health. So what does that mean is right now, with his current state and current build, for Colossal Punch, he gets 72.1% increase of damage because of the amount of health I have. And you see here in health I have 36,000. So again, this is important because it increases your damage a lot. Now, the reason why this is important is because when his signature, his signature gives you a buff where it increases 53% of his health. So how does that translate to my whole build? Is this: when I use his signature, what I usually do is do the signature, do my rotation, which Titanic Slam, Stomp, Crushing Smite, and then go right into this. Why? Because with this signature, it gives you a buff that increases your health, and with that, this increases the damage rating to Colossal Punch, like, tremendously. You see what I mean? Why? Because again, increases your the damage because of the health, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'll just show you. I'm going to show you right now a signature, and I'm going to show you how much of damage this increase, and also look at also the health too. So signature, here it goes. 55,000, and look at the punch. 110.4% increase damage because of the health. See, now it's 72.1, going back to normal. That's why I use this Colossal Punch a lot, because my rotation, and again, Titanic Slam, Demolition Stomp, Crushing Smite, and just go into this. I max Steel Punch out because it's kind of weak, but it's pretty strong too, because damage is increased by 1% per 500 defense rating. So his defense is okay, but the main one is this one, Colossal Punch. I use Steel Punch whenever I'm kind of low on spirits, because the spirit is pretty low. But when it's full, I use just Colossal Punch. It's slower, but it does a lot more damage. So again, just to show you my rotation, use Fastball Special, Signature, Titanic Slam, Demolition Stomp, Crushing Smite, and just Colossal Punch. Once your spirit's low, go back to Steel Punch, the basic damage. So I won't show you Fastball Special, but I'll just show you my rotation with Signature and so forth. So it looks something like this. And in between, you can use Demolition Stomp here because it does a lot of damage. You can even do it again. Titanic Slam. And then Smite. See that? Now let's just do it on this guy. Now I want to show you everything, how it's gonna look like. Let me see. This is the one that does a lot of damage. Show you how it looks overall with doing your, Fastball Special, Signature, Titanic Slam, Demolition Stomp, Smite, and so forth. So it looks something like this. So just do damage. Stomp. Go back to rotation. All you do, and then signature again. Now another thing too is that when you're doing your ultimate, my advice to you is do the ultimate first and then do the rotation. So do the ultimate, signature, Titanic Slam, Demolition Stomp, Crushing Smite, and so forth. Once these two cool down, you can do the same thing, and you can do the Titanic Slam, Crushing Smite, and then whatever. But the reason why I do the ultimate first, then do the signature, is because the ultimate gives you a buff as well too. And so combine the buff of the ultimate plus combine the buff of the signature, you're going to do massive damage. That's where you've seen the video. That's what I did. I did the ultimate, signature, and I did my rotation. That's how I was able to do a lot of damage. So the only downside with this build is that he's very single. He does damage to one person at a time. He does very little area. He does some area, but not a whole lot. But so when it comes to Crushing Smite, make sure you know who you're attacking. That's the only advice I would give, because if you're attacking and then you say you click the wrong person, you wanted to do damage to this one, but you actually doing damage to this one, you just kind of ruin a little bit of the damage. But nonetheless, though, overall Colossus is pretty strong. And if you use this build and you have around 3,000 omegas, I'm pretty sure you'll pass, Cosmic Trial. My advice is just get used to this rotation. It is kind of weird for some people, but I like it. It's simple, not that difficult. I'm not jumping around, hotboxing, powering, changing the different power attacks or anything. Just pretty simple build. But that's it. That's my build for Colossus. This is what I used for me to pass Cosmic Trial. And that's it. So if you have any questions, please put it in the comment section. My next build guide will be Ultron, which is coming soon. Alright, thanks.